In this video, we'll talk about the present bias. We tend to value immediate rewards highly and discount the long-term rewards and gains. The present bias is also called the here and now bias. As the old saying goes, no time is like present. A myopic decision we make now could reduce our rewards in the long run. Looking at the donut right in front of you, do you want to eat it now or later? Just like one of Carrie Fisher's most memorable quotes, instant gratification takes too long. Confessions have always been the gold standard indicator of guilt. In fact, all of us, the innocent included, are susceptible to make false confession when we are under the enormous pressure of interrogation, sleep deprivation, hunger, fear, and anxiety. Under these circumstances, we are likely to do whatever it takes to get out of the interrogation, and any of us could decide to make a false confession. When you make decisions as a leader of a team, would you choose a band-aid for a quick fix over a surgery to uproot the cause? Get to the root cause of a problem usually takes time. Making decisions to address the root cause of the problem will generate great benefits down the road, but not the short-term gain. To make matters worse, the same leaders who had the courage to address the root cause may not be in office to claim the credit. Instead, the leaders who focus on the long-term gain are likely to face blowback and suffer a great deal of pain when making a decision that takes many resources but generates a limited short-term gain. An example is the investment in infrastructure. Influenced by present bias, leaders sometimes find it very tempting to choose an easy way out and kick the can down the road. Low-income individuals are particularly vulnerable to present bias, making myopic decisions that focus more on the benefits here and now instead of the benefits delivered there and after. Living in poverty creates a scarcity mindset, which is developed when we have insufficient resources. In one research study, researchers induced both a scarcity and an abundance mindset within participants and investigated the effects of both mindsets on participants' willingness to pay for familiar food items while being scanned using a brain scanner such as fMRI. Results demonstrated that a scarcity mindset has an impact on brain mechanisms related to decision-making. When in a scarcity mindset, participants had increased activity in the orbital prefrontal cortex, a brain region often implicated in valuation processes. Moreover, a scarcity mindset decreased activity in the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, a brain region well known for its role in self-control and goal-directed behavior. These brain activities indicated that under the scarcity mindset, we calculate only short-term gains, pursuing instant gratification with less self-control. In addition to limited money, we have a scarcity mindset when we have limited time, food, or whatever we don't have enough of what we need. When we are under time constraint, we have tunnel vision, having a laser-like focus on getting things done before deadline. How many times has a looming deadline caused you to bite your tongue and think to yourself, we don't have time to worry about this right now, we just need to get it done. When we are under time constraint, we become short-sighted as we focus on getting our task done as efficiently as possible. We do it at the expense of creativity. If a decision needs team members' divergent thinking, then obsession with making decisions efficiently may create tunnel vision. Rushing to decisions create more problems down the road, which takes more time to address them. This leads to a vicious cycle that makes us feel the need to go even faster. Overstretched workers become more overstretched. We need to be careful, otherwise we may end up in a self-made speed trap. To overcome present bias, we need self-control, which requires an enormous amount of brain power. The prefrontal cortex needs to work very hard to provide us with self-control so we don't eat that donut right in front of us. The prefrontal cortex is the same brain region that provides us with cognitive capacity, attention, and emotion regulation. The catch is that our brain is a metabolically expensive organ. Neurons, which are brain cells, are living cells with metabolism. They need oxygen and glucose to survive. Without oxygen supplied by blood, neurons die within 5 minutes. Our brain accounts for 2% of our body weight, but needs about 20% of the blood pumped by our heart. Self-control and cognition are a finite resource in our brain, relying on glucose, which is on a limited supply. Anything that consumes our limited cognitive capacity, attention, and emotion regulation makes us vulnerable to present bias. Every update we read on Facebook and Instagram, every tweet or text message we get from our friends are competing for resources in our brain that are needed for making high-stake decisions. When the neurons in our brain work hard to process the information we take in, we experience fatigue, which makes us susceptible to present bias. Stress, hunger, and fatigue make it difficult for us to suppress the instant gratification here and now. Have you ever tried to stay away from fast food and found it difficult to resist the temptation of instant gratification at the end of a day? Making too many decisions and holding other information in our memory also drain our limited cognitive resources. Sheer mental exhaustion after making too many decisions make us vulnerable to present bias. It is a bad idea to make high-stake decisions in the afternoon or at the end of the day. Instead, we make wiser decisions when we have a replenished mind after a good night's sleep. Different emotions can influence our present bias. Sadness increases present bias. Sadness implies loss or a sense of something is missing, making people to seek rewards or replacements. People who felt sad accepted less money to get paid now instead of waiting for 3 months for the full payment. This is called myopic misery, because sadness creates a myopic focus on the present, making us impatient. On the contrary, pride and gratitude enable us to prefer the reward delivered later. Pride is aroused when we feel that the self is attributed to having brought positive outcomes. Therefore, pride has a motivational function. Prideful individuals are willing to shoulder short-term hedonic cost in order to persevere and achieve long-term goals. Before making decisions, if we ask decision makers to imagine a future event that arouses pride, or listen to a story that makes them feel pride, we can promote their delay of instant gratification. So a gentle nudge can influence the decision outcome. Moreover, gratitude is an emotion aroused when we affirm goodness in the world. such as help, gifts, and benefits we have received, and when we recognize the source of this goodness does not come from ourselves, but from the goodwill of others, or even higher powers if we are religious. Grateful decision makers are patient because they assign more value to long-term gains and less value to short-term costs. In this video, we talk about present bias. We tend to value immediate rewards highly and discount the long-term rewards and gains. Now, it is time for you to provide an example of present bias and reflect on how it influences decisions made by you or the people around you.